Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wassalam ala rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. A dear viewer of Salam TV, it is always an honor to have you viewing us every Thursday 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. My name is Muhammad Sekalala, your host for the show that we all now fairly versed with, which is the Alhidaayah show, where we look at a number of issues that affect our communities, especially with the reflection on the Islamic guidance. Today we look at the social system of Islam, where we try to bring out issues that have affected us growing up, those that of course we continue experiencing, and perhaps the young generation should also not fall into the same. So today we want to look at something that is very important before you enter into the marriage experience, which is none other than planning for the family and work time before you enter the marriage. To discuss this topic, we are joined by Hajati Kachama Zaitun. Last week we didn't have her, but alhamdulillah, we had also a very eloquent and experienced speaker who shared with us intentional goal sorting. So today we are back with Kachama Zaitun. I request her to say salam to the viewers.
Viewers, our friends, our followers, our partners in this program, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much. That is Hajat Kachama Zaitun. Today is the 12th of September 2024. Of course, corresponding to the 9th of Rabiul Awwal 1546. We have about 3 days to the celebration of the Prophet's birth. But of course, the best celebration is fasting, as encouraged us. There are other modes of celebration, but as a Muslim, we should use this month to reflect on the milestones, the teachings, the mentorship that the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave us. So, looking at the life that is family, we hope that through reading about the life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you should be able to live your life as a better family person. And today, inshallah, we want to look at something that has perhaps been the main cause of marriage breakups. People enter into a marriage setting. Of course, both of them have been to school. One is a professional engineer, another is a doctor, another is a lawyer, another is an accountant, another one is in the services, either prison, the army, police. But of course, human nature demands that they should get married. Now, 1, 2, 3 months down the road, they fail to get along because of the different demands of their jobs. So we want to guide the young ones here, all those that are planning to enter into the marriage. How best should we, or what things should we agree about that should help us keep in the marriage? Because the Christians have their rule that for better or for worse, you should remain married. It's death that
till
should
death
separate.
do us part.
Then the Muslims as well, the most hateful thing before Allah is getting divorced. So we want, before we enter into this, can I marry this working person? Can I get married to this working person? Or I should first keep at a point where I get somebody who I should be very conversant with in terms of the goals we should set regarding this aspect of working. So Hajat, the first thing, of course, in Islam, we know that the general principle is in the Quran, Allah encourages ladies to keep home. And it is the general principle. Of course, in the conventional legal system, they say there is no rule without exception. And I want to believe also in Islam, there are cases where the lady is going to be allowed to move out And we've seen even during the time of the Messenger Muhammad, so some there are ladies who would go out, but their nature of work was defined. So we want us to begin on the note that working, the general rule is the ladies should keep home, the men should be the ones to go out and fend for the family. But of course, let's not go into that Sharia definition of whether the lady should work or not. Now let us just agree on there are cases where the working is necessary, is a necessity. But what should we look forward to?
Muhammad, put yourself in my shoes. You want me to give you so many things at a go.
Let's begin with the simpler one. Before we go into marriage, we are 3-4 months down the road. What should be the kind of discussion we should have as
because
prospective marriage partners?
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillahi Kareem. We want to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his continuous blessing towards us. We are so grateful for the life, we are grateful for Islam, we are grateful for the knowledge and all the blessings that cannot be counted. I want to thank you for this beautiful program that is progressive, and we hope that it should be able to put a number of things right and better our community. Now, if we have been moving together, when we were dating, we kept telling people to be very conscious about the red flags, for example. The common word today, the corporate language, the red flags. I saw the red flags. While you're dating somebody, there are things that you're going to be hearing them say, and you probably are going to minimize or not take seriously. For example, there are statements that will come out of, for example, the gentleman who will be like, I do not tolerate a woman who does not work. Okay?
Repeat that again.
I cannot tolerate a woman who does not work.
Who doesn't work.
That is now a common, it is really coming in as a trendy thing.
So to him, he needs a woman.
He does not even want to
contribute towards the family budget.
Contribution is another thing, but today we have men who have gone into they're so into the affirmative action, they're so into emancipation, they're so into even like what is going on, the trendy, the things that are on.
So I do not tolerate a woman
who does not work.
This thing of sit-home mother,
he doesn't believe that you really are a woman to even pause about or to even talk about, to even show to the friends. And we have the opposite as well.
That is one case.
We have someone who will say, I do not tolerate a woman who works.
A woman who
He doesn't believe in the woman going out of the home. And
so this is in the dating.
This is in conversation as we are talking, and then like we see on certain media portals where we people are looking for partners, and then there is this gentleman who is going to say that I'm looking for a woman who is going to to give me capital. I'm looking for a woman who has built herself to a certain level, who has her car or who has a house or who has a job. All right, and then we have another one who is like, I do not care about the woman's money. Actually, I don't eat women's money. No matter how wealthy they will become, he does not need a woman's money.
I just have enough.
All right, so now
myself,
the other thing that we shall hear from the opposite sex is like, I was born and raised by a single mother. For us, our mother struggled for us. I looked at my mother toil, for me and my siblings. So I cannot even for a moment, for even a month, sit
at home. Because I don't trust men.
Trust is another thing. Now, you remember, this is not even commitment yet. But we are talking, these are conversations. The girl grew up looking at her mother work. And she knows and she believes so strongly that a woman goes out and work. We have a belief that a woman's money, the woman, you know, the money that a woman has made is so sweet.
Yes, of course. Imagine getting your 500,000, you can go out for cafe.
You know, it's in your control. You will
friends,
do whatever. Exactly. You buy your husband a suit.
Buy your husband a suit,
without,
yes.
you know, waiting and so this one believes that the money she makes on her own is better than the money she's given.
She's given, yes.
These are conversations. Then we have women who do not believe in leaving their homes.
Okay.
Except otherwise. They believe strongly that they must be at home. Now, marriage is not a prison.
It's not a prison.
The truth is, marriage is not a prison. Actually, marriage is a space. It is a place for the two partners to grow, to explore themselves, to build their potentials in finances, in social abilities, in you know, religiously, socially, economically, and all that. That is number one. Two, we are building a community of people with qualifications.
Yes.
You know, we have girls who are doctors, we have girls who are engineers, we have women who are architects, we have and.
Okay.
I was in a dars one time, and our sheikh was teaching us that one of the ways we can show that we are so glad that Allah has given us a blessing is by using it.
Okay.
And actually, he usually brings it when it comes to the woman working. Okay. If a woman has been blessed with, for example, a first class in medicine,
first class in medicine, first class,
and even the other of being of having a first class in Quran.
Okay.
For example, she's a hafidhat and she was excellent, and any other skill and attribute that so one can get through education. Yes. If we do not serve the community with the qualifications that we have, it is a sign that we have not appreciated the blessing of probably the qualification, the skill and education that Allah has blessed us with. Yes. That is another one. Then we have stages in life, Muhammad. Stages in life.
So the first thing, as we are in the process of courtship, getting married, first thing is to first appreciate that each of us have a sort of qualification we are bringing on the table.
Okay.
One case is I'm educated, the other is not. Second case scenario is somebody is skilled in perhaps mechanics, carpentry. Third thing is both of us have gone to the highest level of qualification. It's what you're saying. We should first
we all have a certain skill, to the extent that it's not even got from school.
From school.
There are skills that someone has been able to grow. For example, cooking.
Cooking, yes.
Someone is endowed with the beauty of cooking.
Okay.
No, you know, despite the fact that they did not go to maybe an institution to get a certificate or diploma or even a degree, but when they start to prepare meals or a meal and put together a buffet of sorts.
So this goes the stages you're talking about.
So we have stages in life.
We want our viewers to
appreciate
the fact that they need to plan for family and work.
Exactly. We have stages in life.
Yes.
I remember when I had just gotten married, fresh from university, very young, you know, my husband could probably take care of nearly everything that I needed. Yes. And we didn't have children.
That is 1, 2,
so the budget was
manageable.
Manageable, and we could move happily. But as time goes,
as you get the first, second,
you get one child and another child, you know, not looking at the economy that we are in today. Apart from us not being genuine, today the cost of living has become endurable. It's not endurable. It's so difficult today to really have this whole family of 12 people under one person. It is very, very hard. Lastly,
first, maybe before you go, on the stages of life.
Yes.
So the one thing I'm getting from this is that perhaps as we are discussing, we are talking before we enter the marriage, we should have a forecast of perhaps the first 2-3 years, either...
Could even be 10.
Kachama will be staying home to look after the kids. Then after 3-4 years, she can now go into the working field. Is it what I'm trying to read in your?
Yes.
So
that the demands might dictate
that in the first 2-3 years, this Zaitun should stay home and look after the kids.
Yes.
Then perhaps when the demands increase, now she can now.
And the stages of life again will include our children.
Okay.
Because there are points of when our children really need the marital care, the nurturing of the mother.
I think even one other important thing I'm seeing there is that the first 2-3 kids, the moment they are looked after well, they can even help in looking after those that are coming.
That is what is happening at my home.
But now if from day one Zaitun went out
so the firstborn doesn't even know how much sugar goes in a cup. He can't put salt in the sauce. Wow. She doesn't even know how to close the windows and the doors. They can't switch off the lights.
I get that now.
Yeah, so there are those critical stages for the parents and the children that need to be given attention by the both parties.
Okay, let's go to point 3.
The other is the fact that you are married to a human being, and who has aspirations, who has dreams, who would want to also explore themselves and grow. We would give them the liberty. We would give them the freedom. Okay, we would give them a chance to think upon this and make a personal decision. Okay. Because what we are seeing today in our homes is a fact that we have men who believe that their wives are at home. My wife, for me, my women stay at home. Actually, recently I was in a vehicle and a gentleman was posing that my women are at home. I
don't tolerate anyone.
You know, and he was, and I just reminded this gentleman that, you know what? Yes, it is a good thing for a woman to be at home, but don't be so comfortable, because while you get out of your home and you go to work, you do not know what goes on in your home. Yes. One of the things that we have found out today is the stay-at-home mothers have spoiled their children. It is very, very sad that the woman who stays at home from morning to morning is unable to train their child. I recently was in an engagement with a mother, and she came along with children, and the children do not know where to sit, they don't know how to speak, they don't know not to touch things that don't belong to them. I was in for example, this studio, the children are pulling out the plugs from sockets, they are beating windows, they are hitting doors, they are pulling her, they are making noise. Stay at home, mom.
So what could happen there? Is she always on TV, busy with her errands? What?
Now, of course, that is, parenting being a course itself, being some information that needs to be intentional and be given, because we are not born nurturers.
Of course.
We are just mothers. Sometimes, but we are not parents.
We learn by.
So we need to learn. There is trying, and and ever we need to make. We go and check on people who have done this. We read books. We ask around. We go for seminars. So it is not automatic that the person who is at home is doing exactly is doing what we hope they are doing. We have women who stay at home and their children stay in Pampers up to 3 p.m. Oh, wow. And a pamper that was in during the night. We have women who have undernourished children, yet they are at home. Children of stay-at-home mothers are always sick. These are things that we know. Children that are of stay-at-home moms don't have role models, because the mother has kind of left certain important aspects of a mother or a role model. We have children who are looking at their mothers dirty. The mother doesn't, she touches charcoal, and then she goes and touches the fridge, and then, she goes to the toilet and doesn't flush, and the house is not in order. The mother is at home.
So the point you're making here is there should be a discussion between the husband and wife. Actually, these are to be that perhaps we shall agree, if you must work, maybe you'll have 5 hours or 3 hours of work, then come back. And is it what you're saying?
My argument is it should be, because you're marrying a mature human being. So it should be a well thought out, discussed and personal decision. Because the minute you put someone where they don't want to be, you're not going to get the results. We have women who work and they are nurturing their children perfectly. We have women who go away with their children, from, especially school going. She moves with her children to school. She leaves work at a reasonable time. She picks her children and takes them back home.
Maybe as we are going for the break, the kind of person you're telling us, I want you to picture for us this person. She has a 4-year-old who is in baby class, and then there's a 9-month-old, and then perhaps one in P5, P6, because I'm looking at the very young families here. So you're saying that kind of person, he could also make a good mother based on her busy schedules.
I am an example in most of these things.
Yes.
Because I got married, and I think when my firstborn was 5 months, I got a job. Okay, and I was a teacher.
Okay.
So while I was teaching, I was living in the school that I was in. So probably it was a bit easy for me to check on the child and all that. But there are certain things that happened even when I was in the campus. Because you are going to be caught up in certain things and you are unable to probably do what you are supposed to. But it's until when you are conscious of what must be done that you will do it. Which is why, while we are conversing, before we marry, you need to know the sensitivity your partner has towards children,
and especially looking at their profession.
Yes, towards homemaking. To me, the profession doesn't matter, because I have a statistician.
Okay.
One of my old girls, the one who used to beat us in mathematics from senior 1 up to senior 6.
Yes.
She did quantitative economics. I think she got a second up or a first class.
Okay.
Chose to stay at home. Chose. The word is chose.
On her own.
She chose to stay at home for her children. I have done that. Because at a certain point in being in school, teaching for around 6 years, now I had around 4 children at that time. Because there were 3. I chose to get out of the job
and first go and
sit and take care of my children.
There's another person I know. She was at one of the universities, very in a high place.
Yes.
But whenever she would go to the administrators to request for permission, they would say, but are your kids? Till she made a chance, do not give me leave of
because
10 years.
Nobody. 10 years that is exactly what I did. I was a head teacher.
Oh, wow.
And I left that office that had rolling chairs and a very huge office table and, safe with, and whatever the endowments that come with a head teacher. And I just looked around, because one of the things that really touched me, I used to spend a lot of time and energy on other people's children. And there are a number of things that I used to find at home that were happening that were not happening. Yes. You would find your child not fed. Yes.
We shall continue the discussion after this short break.
All right.
Eno ye Salam TV.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100*21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Let's live it up and party and have cracking good fun. When it comes to edutainment, DSTV's number 1.
Is everybody ready to go, go, go?
We've got the zaniest characters to transport you away. The party is cracking, so why not come play? You're gonna love it. We've got so many channels and a ton of new shows, like Disney and Nickelodeon, where anything goes. So live it up with DSTV. We bring the fun. You know we're number 1.
Salaamu egabudde oli munna bizinesi oba olina ekitongole ekiwa obuweereza obw'enjawulo nga weetaaga kimanyike mu buli maka mu ggwanga lyonna. Salaamu TV ekuleetedde enteekateeka ya Salaamu egabudde. Guno gwe mukisa gw'ofunye by'otunda ne by'okola birangibwe ku TV yaffe eŋŋanzi wamu n'emikutu gyaffe emigatta abantu gyonna. Weegatte ku bukadde n'obukadde bw'abalabi baffe okwetooloola Uganda yonna, era bizinesi yo yeeyongera okumanyika nga bw'onyumirwa emiwendo egisaliddwako osobola okuganyulwa okwannamaddala mu kulanga kwo. Tosubwa omukisa ssemakisa guno ogukuweereddwa. Okumanya ebisingawo tukubireko leero ku 070 54 76 09 oba 0783 27 21 34. Salaamu egabudde ku Salaamu TV, olutimbero olw'emirembe. Ensi bw'egenze ekula, ebintu bingi nnyo bye tumanyi nti biri halaali bigenze biyingiramu ebitali halaali. Twesanze ng'ebintu bingi ebituwoomera mu maka gaffe bikoseddwa nga biyingirwamu ebintu n'enkola etali nnuŋŋamu eyinza okukosa enzikiriza wamu n'obulamu bwaffe. Wano Uganda Halal Bureau kwe kuvaayo ku lulwo okusunsula n'okwekenneenya ebyokulya n'okunywa, okukakasa nti bituukagana n'omutindo gwa halaali. Awo nno ggwe omuntu wa bulijjo, obuvunaanyizibwa bubwo okunoonya akabonero ka Uganda Halal Bureau ku buli kyogula, kubanga ke kakakasa nti biri halaali. Ate ggwe munna bizinesi, funa akabonero kano abantu okukakasa nti by'ofulumya ne by'otunda biri halaali. Tulye halaali, tunoonye akabonero ka Uganda Halal Bureau ku buli kye tukozesa. Okumanya ebisingawo kuba ku ssimu zino 084 23 35 61 oba 0758 52 00 11. Kampeyini eno ekutuusibwako Uganda Halal Bureau ne Salaamu TV, era ewagiddwa Harris International abakolera Ona Juice ne Gibikedale Products Limited abakolera amata ga Classic. Kozesa ebiri halaali byokka w'oli na buli w'ogenda. Uganda Halal Bureau. Eno ye Salaamu TV.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear viewer, we welcome you back from that short break. We are looking at the social system of Islam, and today we are looking at a very sensitive topic, which of course the debate can never be concluded. What would be the best definition of work and family time balance? In the beginning, of course, we are talking to people who haven't yet entered into the marriage. Those who are already there, I hope you already know that you can't cry over spilt milk. Yes,
never. We don't change people in marriage.
You can't change people in marriage, and it will be foolhardy of us to say that now, based on what you're hearing, make a decision otherwise. No, you just have to see how you've managed for the last 15, 20, 30 years in marriage, and you're going. Alhamdulillah, may Allah bless it for you. But those that haven't yet been into the marriage, I want to believe those who are there would give better testimonies on what we are saying. So before we went for the break, we were saying that in the process of courtship, before we go into this nikah, right, 3 things you should appreciate. One is the fact that be mindful of the kind of talk that your partner to be is giving you. When somebody says, I don't tolerate somebody who is a sit-home woman already, that's one thing you should pick. Number 2, I don't tolerate somebody who works, is the second statement that somebody will give. Thirdly, when somebody says, I want somebody who will give me capital for my business, that's another statement to take. Another one is, me, I grew up seeing my mom or my dad toiling around, so I don't think I could even sit down. All those are things you should. So point 1 is take note of the statements that are being given to you in the courtship process. Secondly, appreciate that Allah has given us the opportunity and the capacity to study different professions and qualifications, and we all have our own line of training. So if you think the two qualifications can come together, and then you make a better community and make the decision that is based on that. Thirdly, also note that the marriage that you're going into has stages of life. There are stages where the commitments and demands are going to be less, and then there will be a time when the commitments are going to be heightened, and then there will be a time where perhaps you need to sit down as a team, as a couple, to say now who should do what and who shouldn't do this. So if you can come to those three, or you could have an appreciation of the three things, then perhaps the work and family time balance shouldn't be a problem for you. Now, Hajat, as we start the second part of the show, what kind of agreement should this doctor, lady is a doctor, husband is a lawyer, lady is a teacher, husband is a police officer, lady is an engineer, husband is an accountant somewhere, lady is a land surveyor, husband is a...
like the home has 6 degrees in the bed.
Yeah, they have 6 degrees. So what kind of arguments should we have before we enter into... Actually, one is a professional videographer. He's working on NBS. Everywhere, Salam TV. And what kind of arguments should we have before we enter into this marriage?
Actually, I was writing here things that are important.
Yes.
One thing that we encourage partners is to be genuine and truthful. Especially when they are conversing. We encourage people to communicate.
Because everybody knows why they are not yet married as of now.
So you need to communicate your feelings, your sentiments, and what you feel about certain. That is why when we are conversing, it's not about eating pizza and chicken and
going out to the beach.
You need to bring these sensitive topics and you discuss them, so that at the end of it all, you have a line of agreement that you know what. I think working would not be bad, but we don't do everything. For example, recently, I think it was yesterday, we had a meeting at a certain premise, and there was a lady. She works with a security company. So we left her there. She's keeping the building. A woman.
Whole night?
Yes. Actually, and the time that has passed, those companies used not to employ women at night, deploy them at night. But these days, actually, I asked this lady, you mean these days security women work at night? He said, yes. You know, men, they go and buy waraji, and
they sleep on the job.
And they find them sleeping there when they've stolen everything. You know, men have their attributes as well. They are not patient, they are not trustworthy, and so today the companies have changed that a bit. Now there are certain things that you probably will have to put limits. That, you know, no matter as much as you will want to work as my wife, as my husband, there are things that you don't want to tolerate. That, for example, even though it is a man who is supposed to work, there are things that I don't believe in. Muhammad, you are a cameraman. And as you're coming home, you are called and they're giving you another engagement. I was expecting you're coming home. And then there is breaking news.
It's a breaking story.
And you forget at a certain point, even when you are a bit settled, to send a message that, you know what, I was coming, but there's something has come up. Genuine, that is the word, genuineness.
You're very right there.
So communication.
Actually, I also don't believe that there's something that is so breaking that can even make you forget your person.
So I will not believe, because if we cut conversation of why I should work or not work, of us coming to, you know, send agreements, that, you know what, I have qualified as a teacher, but we are going to get children. How about if I stay at home, all right? And then you can give me some provision. I have a couple that the lady is a teacher and the gentleman is an administrator. They agreed in the beginning that I'm going to give you a salary the gentleman provided that I'll give you a salary. You first stay at home for these little ones. Every single month I'll give you this amount of money. And
what
the
you
wife
would have
agreed.
got in the 3-4 day schools you're getting.
All right, it may not be relative, but remember when I stay at home, there are a number of things that are going to downsize. So we even agree that that is very little money. How about if we? But I don't have it. Maybe later on I'll increase
my salary
it.
is this, but
I'll
can
increase.
give you a part of
Okay,
it, yes.
that is one. Two. We have a misconception of work as well, of people believing that we must leave home and go and work.
By the way, Hajat, before I think we were talking to the ladies. Can also can the lady also pay man salary for staying at home?
No. The woman will not pay you, because when we pay you,
you know, there are cases where the lady is an MD somewhere and she's getting millions and millions. And
the husband is what?
It is the man who chooses to stay home to look after the kids.
Why would a man choose to stay at home? It's not at any point. It is not at any point a man will consider to be
we
at
have
home.
women emancipation.
No matter how we are emancipated, there is a difference between sharing roles and switching roles and taking over.
Sharing, switching, and taking over.
Yes, because there is sharing roles. For example, baby 1 is feeding here on the breast.
Okay.
Now baby 2 needs to change the diaper. So daddy changes the diaper there.
As this one is breastfeeding.
As I'm breastfeeding this one.
Okay? That is the sharing roles.
Sharing roles.
Then
because the role of changing diaper has been, kind of tagged onto the woman, as if it is not even written anywhere. But it's the normal way.
Then where is the switching of roles now in this case?
Switching of roles is what you're saying, that the man is now at home.
The lady pays.
Intentionally, not circumstantially, because the job.
The lady from the 50 million she's earning at somewhere as MD.
So she's like taken over all the responsibilities of the gentleman and
please look after our kids.
Now that is role switching, role switching is one of the things that is causing problems, which is why today we have men and women fighting for the mirror, and today the man will even start doing his hair. And so
how about taking over? What is taking over?
Now taking over is like you apparently do not even exist.
You're not even the man in the house. Eh?
I don't know if you've heard of these statements. The ladies keep saying that. Me, I'm the husband, I'm the father, and mother.
I'm the father. The man is just
actually, he's dead.
Whether he comes or he doesn't, I don't care.
The father of the children is dead.
He's dead
because he has failed, or he's not doing what he's supposed to do.
Also, so you are taking us to the fact that.
The agreements that we
you said you could pay the lady. Then there's a misconception about work. You said working is not only
we need to highlight that as well.
Yes.
I hope we are able to get to a point where we have a community of women, who work, but they work close to their children. They work close to their homes.
So working shouldn't be only outside.
It should
the
not
home.
be me going away and going to China, going to the mall, because that now has turned into role switching. Because now most of the roles we cannot do, because some roles require you to be at home.
Of course.
All right? Which is why we have now elements of women not breastfeeding their children, elements of women not knowing what is where, what has been bought and what is not bought, elements of inability of having things in order. It takes a strong woman to be able to have this in order. So now we are thinking that if we could borrow, I have been told about the ladies that are along the Indian Ocean coast.
Yes, Mombasa, Dar es Salaam,
Mogadishu, Zanzibar. These women are rolling the economy of that community.
How is that?
But these women are doing they have skills and they are working from home.
Okay.
We have women who are doing, baking. They are doing pastries. They are frying this and that. They are weaving. They are making small crafts, and they are working from home. You will find a woman having gold that she has bought for herself.
Yes.
Okay? From a business that she's doing from her home.
From her home.
And she's even paying tax.
Wow.
To the government from home. And then she has been able to raise her children. She has been able to look after her husband. And she's now what we would call a complete woman.
Hajat.
Yes.
You're indirectly telling us that as ladies out there, they should avoid some of the professions that, because most professions by nature demand that you should be out of. There are a few professions that will allow you to work remotely from home.
No, we have a lot of professions that can be.
Medicine.
You know, it is.
Law,
it is.
Accounting.
I have a friend.
Hmm.
I have a friend who recently removed. She shifted her firm, law firm, personal law firm, from one of the biggest buildings in Kampala, and she put it at home. And she has established a very beautiful office.
Wow.
At home.
Wow. But I think that was after 5 years of working.
Of course, she struggled a bit. That is why we encourage people to.
So the other point of stages in life, I think, is
that one, and two, allowing your person to grow with you. There are times, there are steps she's going to take and make mistakes. She's going to lose money. She's going to be cheated. She's going to be, because you are going to talk to each other, and you will always have to agree to disagree or to agree. So
in other words, give the lady opportunity to go and make mistakes.
As long as you guide, don't just like you've chosen to go and work, go and see. No,
give her
let
opportunity
us sit
to go
together.
Actually, you remind me, there's a lady. We normally commute early morning, but you find this lady 6 o'clock. She's the conductor of the taxi, and then the people in the taxi are saying, you always say men don't work. Now you also feel the pressure of getting the money.
But again, that is not good talk, because one thing is for sure, people work because of certain circumstances.
Okay, yeah.
And the reason why women have stepped out and gone to the streets to work is because things are not moving well.
Of course, in the homes.
The truth is, men have to appreciate that provision is a challenge to them.
Of course.
Today, even the biggest offices, our husbands are unable to take care of the demands of the family. So women are stepping out, not because they really, really, really want to be there, because naturally, we are wired to be in either at home or in vocations that don't make us struggle a lot.
So let's go back to the point of saying that these ladies, because most of the professions they are having, they require us to move out of the homes. Talk about law, engineering, accounting, pharmacy, all those. But you said you know the case of a lady who shifted her law firm from one of the biggest.
It's not even on the road. That her home is not on the road.
Wow.
Her home is deep inside there. I went there, and she has chosen. She puts together. She has a flower business, pots and flower business, and it is at home. She has a beautiful home. She's selling her pots from there. People come and get flowers.
It's interesting. You've mentioned one of the most high-end professions where you didn't imagine that a lady would.
So, which is why, if only you, Muhammad, could help your wife, like, unshell, get out of the shell, and learn to walk, learn to fly, fall and hold her. It is not about
you go and see the world.
Like, she has gone into the mall, she has gone and got maybe merchandise from China, and the merchandise maybe is caught at the border, and you're celebrating.
And you celebrate.
No. It is we are supposed to support each other as we are finding ourselves, because at the end of the day, you're going to find your wife saying that I will never go away from my home. I will never go back to work. And now that is the perfect person to have at
having
home.
Experienced how it feels out there.
Because you're going to have a wife who is in your home, and all the time she's like, You remember you have a screen that you've left at home.
Of course.
There is radio that is going on. So she's hearing Zaitun and she's like, Kale, those people, for us, we went to school with them. You hear them. And you have an ice. you are an ice body, someone who is not happy at all.
Oh, wow.
So we want to, one of the things that I want us to appreciate is marriage being a sport for two entities to explore themselves, okay, and to help themselves explore the world, to explore their potential, to be contributors to the community.
Yes.
We don't want a community where the husband will do here and the wife cannot do anything. We don't want a community where the husband does zakah and the wife doesn't even know
what zakah
we
is all
want
about.
a community of an empowered wife and empowered husband. We want a community where the wife knows that they must contribute to the growth of the ummah. All right?
Yes.
So where this is going to go through is now where we shall converse and come to agreement.
So Hajat, as we are winding up, you've hinted that perhaps in the first 2-3 years, you need to give opportunity to go and learn. Could give us maybe some 2-3 points that or agreements we should make regarding in terms of the time, quality time the husband or wife should have for the family, because we have decided that let's all first move out.
Actually, I have it as a point here.
Yes.
Quite
Because we have about, 5
open-mindedness.
minutes.
Open-mindedness. Let things come in, digest them, and get out what the best.
So
what is
that
best for
quality
us.
time is
Then
usually
quality
a problem,
time
is a problem. We are both going out, but how do we now manage the issue of quality time? Kachama is working, for example, 50. She's a teacher, like you said. You go 30 miles to maybe Mpiji, and you're staying in Kasangati, and then even if the lesson were to end at 5 p.m., traveling from Mpiji back to Kasangati.
We are under a test. We
So
pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala
how do you manage the quality time?
loosens the time. But one thing that is very key and core in marriage is communication.
Yes.
We need to know where each other is.
Okay.
It is important for your partner to know where you are at every part of your day. Even when you've forgotten, please update. It is important for your partner to know where you are. They may not need to know what you are doing, but they need to know where you are. It is something that most men, actually, mostly men, don't want to share where they are. But you know that bad things could happen. Anything can happen. You can get an accident. You can get anything could happen.
Yes.
And remember, the first thing they will do is to ask you the first, and my number will be the first thing you're going to utter. You told me you're in Barara and you're getting an accident in Gulu.
In Gulu, yes.
Okay, so it is important to know where you are. Now it makes it even more beautiful to tell what you are doing.
Of course.
That, you know what, I've just entered Salam TV here. All right, so that you keep in touch even when you're together. You're not together. It is beautiful because it is a sign that you are connected.
Tell her I've just jetted into Nairobi. We are going to.
I'm in Nairobi.
Ababa.
I'm at the border. I'm trying to fix taxes here. I have a challenge here. I might spend more 2 days, even when you're not, because sometimes you're not even telling the truth. Because sometimes the truth might kill your marriage, as long as you're not doing the wrongest things. But sometimes the actual truth may not be so sweet to hear. But we need to follow each other. I am here. I'm in a conference of 3 days, and we are on day 2. Actually, you can even share the little things that you are getting from the speakers and all that. That is 1. 2. Quality time is an intentional time. Actually, when we are in our retreats and our couple sessions, we encourage couples to have regular, isolated meetings for the 2 of them, and we call it couple time. We call it couple time. We would encourage, minimally, it should be monthly.
Monthly, how long? 30 minutes, 1 hour?
No, we don't want to regulate this because it depends on, relationships are so different. There are some people who can't tolerate each other for an hour.
What?
Or 30. But we pray.
So you pray that you just have any moment where they are two.
Intentional that every first Saturday of the month.
Go to Cafe Java.
We shall go to cafe. We encourage you to go to a place which will allow you to have a conversation.
Where you won't see an obby audience. Hey,
and waiters are moving around, people are making noise, there is a band, and all. We encourage you to go to a place where you will be able to listen to each other and talk to each other.
Wow.
Because remember, we are having families today of noisy homes. The children are all over, they are making noise. If you can have 2 hours minimum on that date. We encourage married people to go for dates, by the way. Muslims, go for dates, Banagi. It's not haram. It's really not haram to take out each other and
you know,
go
we
and
have a scroll
meal.
that says dates are for people who are
For the other people, it is not proper. The Prophet used to do dates. Seriously, he used to take away his wives. Today I'm going with this one. Today he used to choose and go away, especially with one wife. So that intentional time away, the two of us
should make up for the time you spend at work.
Yes, but so that we can be able to catch up.
Your spouse should be looking forward to it.
Exactly. You catch up with what the other person has missed. You talk about the
so maybe
challenges.
as we're winding up, I think you can also hint on the fact that since we are both working, each of us should prepare to spend on the other in sequences. Right?
Men, don't pressurize women to spend on you. It is not in us. It is just a few women who have learned, and we are struggling with this because we are not wired to give you.
Wow.
We love you. We want to be with you for the rest of our lives.
It is the man's words that should be talking all the time.
That is role switching. There is gifting. There is what. So any woman who would wish to take their husband out, go ahead. But we don't want to hear it coming from the men that as you're working, take me out. It sounds so cheap.
That this month was mine, the next month will be yours.
If you've agreed so, do it. But just do not expect it naturally from a woman.
MashaAllah.
Yes.
Hajat, we have a minute. In 1 minute or sentence, give us the parting shot.
Family and work time balance does not exist.
Wow.
It is something we work at every step of our marriage. We keep working and adjusting and helping each other and ensuring that the balance is just there, because you will never
some people
balance.
Could have 10 minutes, others could have 30 minutes, others could have a full day of what they would call quality time, right?
Quality time is another thing. So for some people, they take themselves for a full weekend.
I think we shall see that in the
full weekend.
episodes.
We go for a retreat of 6 days.
Inshallah.
You appreciate.
Thank you very much, dear viewer. We were looking at planning for family and work time before marriage, and I think the discussion we've had has helped to open up our understanding and appreciation of what we need to agree upon before we enter that marriage. If you're going to get married to somebody who is busy 24/7, kindly make the choice on your own. If you're having somebody who is not tolerant of who are sitting at home, or those who don't who wouldn't want to stay home, then the choice is yours. But we hope that with the discussion we've followed here, it could help guide the way we enter into the marriages. Inshallah, if you've missed out on the opening parts of the show, kindly visit the Salam TV YouTube page, type Alhidaayah, and then the topic will be coming up for you to revisit the show. Otherwise, we want to thank you very much for always keeping out on Salam. We hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues guiding us all and gives us blessed and happy marriages. Until next time, I want to say salam to you and say bye-bye for now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Eno ye Salam TV. Adhan ngekutuswako.
Hotel Africana. Come as a guest and leave as a friend.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله.